Hi everyone, I hope you've all been having an amazing day. I'm super excited because today I'm going to share my favorite makeup products that I love to use during the summer. I have found that these products hold up so well in the heat. I wrote a blog post last year about this, but I thought I'd make like a video about it where I'll show all the products and how I like to use them as well. First product that I'm going to introduce to you is the e.l.f. Halo Glow. You've probably seen this all over the internet. It's an amazing product and I have gone like 15 to 16 hours wearing this and it still looks good at the end of the day. The formula is extremely lightweight, meaning you can mix it with moisturizer or you can even mix it with skin tint if you want to add a little bit more coverage. I am shade 5 medium tan, and this actually looks really good on me. I know it looks a little bit dark, but it actually matches my skin tone pretty well and it gives me like a slight tan too. Now that we got the base out of the way, I'm going to move on to concealer. When it comes to concealer, I absolutely love the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. It's an amazing concealer and I love the formula. It's very hydrating and perfect for my very dry skin. If you have oily skin, I wouldn't recommend this because I've had a lot of people comment on my things whenever I post about this on how it doesn't really work, but I would recommend looking into a matte concealer if you have oily skin for the summer. I'm shade Fair Warm and I'm actually wearing it right now and you can see it's like very brightening. A little goes a long way and I've had this on for about 8 hours now and you can see how it's like not pilling or getting patchy or anything. Now that we got concealer out of the way, I'm going to move on to one of my favorite parts of my makeup routine, which is bronzer. I'm especially picky when it comes to bronzers because a lot of times brands won't even make like a very warm toned bronzer, and so this next one I'm going to share with you is so warm toned. This bronzer is by Hourglass and just look at that. It's so beautiful, and the thing that I really love about this is you can see right there how there's literally golden highlighter in it. So when you're outside and in the sun, you look it's like a slight shimmer, but you also look very warm and bronzed. I've had this since June and it's literally nowhere close to being done. And this is an incredibly warm toned bronzer. I was really shocked actually when I first tried it on, but it looks so good. And if you're looking for a product that's gonna give you like instant warmth and an instant tan, this is definitely one to look into. The next one, and I know you probably see this like so much, but it's an amazing bronzer, and so I thought I would just mention it again, is the Hoola Caramel Bronzer. The time that I saw this was like on Instagram, and I remember this was like the hype back in 2016, and so I knew I had to get it, and you can see that it's like barely used, and the reason why is because it's so pigmented. A little, like, trust me here, a little goes such a long way. It's never gonna run out. I don't think it ever will. I've had this for a year and a half and the print is still on there. Look at that. I kind of add like a little bit of dimension to your eyeshadow look. You can pop a little bit in your crease and it looks so good. Also, I am Hoola. This is Hoola Caramel, so I guess that's the shade I am for this. I don't have it with me because it's in like my makeup drawer, but the next bronzer that I wanted to talk about was the Physicians Formula bronzer. This is another fave of mine and a great affordable bronzer. I remember it caught my eye because someone on TikTok said like how good the scent was, and so I decided to purchase it, and oh my gosh, it smells amazing. It literally like smells like a tropical beach vacation. It's an amazing, like, I love that scent. The only thing is that it has a lot of fallout, so I would recommend kind of like hitting the brush against something before you apply it, or kind of sweeping it on the back of your hand just so that you don't over apply. That's all I have for bronzer. Those are like my top 3. I absolutely love them and I know you will too because they just hold up so well. Now I'm gonna move on to blush. So blush is like amazing, and if you read my blog, you know how much I love blush. I mention it like literally any chance I can get, and so I'm really excited to share these blushes with you. Even if you put the tiniest bit on, you literally look like more alive instantly. It's amazing. The first cream blush that I'm going to talk about is by Jouer Cosmetics. I absolutely love this blush. Perfect for those days where you want like a no makeup look. It's completely matte, and so when you apply it, it's going to look very natural on you. The thing that's very unique about this blush is that it has a lip tint side and a cheek tint side. I kind of say that these are blushes, not tints. They're very pigmented. A little goes a long way. It'll last you a very long time. The side of the lip tint, and it honestly reminds me of like lipstick, but I like it because you can just throw it in your bag and you like instantly have a lipstick and a blush with you. This is the side I'm excited to talk about, the blush side. So I'm wearing the blush right now and I layered it with another blush that I'm going to mention in a minute, But what I love about it is how pigmented it is. Like, look at that. And then all you need to do, you can kind of just use your fingers to blend it out, but look at how pretty it is. This back in July and it held up surprisingly well. You know, I was in an area that had like over 100-degree weather, and it looked good all day. It didn't like get everywhere, and it lasted long. It's like the perfect blush to put on before you go to the beach, or if you just had like one of those beach days and you want like a little flush of color. This is definitely the blush to wear. Okay, so if you read my blog, you already know that I'm going to be mentioning this one. It's the e.l.f. Cosmetics Putty Blush. I absolutely love these blushes, literally like my ride or die. I found that you can also use these as a little lip tint, or you can also apply a little bit on your eyes. So this is pigmented, lasts long, looks so good. And also last year when I had to wear a mask to school, this was the only blush I'd wear because it was the only one that looked and stayed on my skin all day. Even when I got like picked up, it was still there. This is best applied using your hands. So you need to use your hands to kind of like melt the blush down, and then you can apply it like kind of like that, and then just blend it in with your fingers. I found when I use a brush, it doesn't work as well, and you're not going to get as much as you can out of it. While we're on the topic of pigmented blushes, you know that you can't not mention Rare Beauty. And so this is my favorite one by Rare Beauty. It is their cream blush in the shade Nearly Berry. Now, Nearly Berry is such a beautiful and unique shade. It's kind of like a mix of red. It's kind of like a mix of red with pink and purple. And I'll put a little bit on. I already have a lot of blush on, but I'll put a little bit on. I'm not going anywhere else today. And so, like, I don't know if you can tell, but you can see how it has that kind of like red tinge to it. It's so pretty. Like, this is definitely in my top 3 favorite blushes. I love it so much. This is another one that's perfect to apply when you're in places where it's very hot, because it's so pigmented. It's gonna last long and it's gonna look good. I'm gonna bore you with blushes, but the last one that I'm gonna talk about is by Physicians Formula. Now this one low-key shocked me because it is so pigmented and it just looks so good, and so I'm excited. I have wanted this for years actually, because I don't know, I think the packaging is like very cute. Something about it just like caught my eye always, and so I finally decided to purchase it a few months ago, and I am so glad I did. And I'm so mad at myself that I didn't purchase it before, because it's like an amazing blush. This is in the shade Blushing Rose, and I'm wearing it right now too. I like do a mix of all these blushes, and so where the brightness is coming from is this in the Jouer Cosmetics one, and then I add the Rare Beauty if I want kind of like more pigment. Lasts me so long. Like, I apply a lot of blush, as you can tell, and this is gonna last me years. And I love the way it looks like you're kind of making your own blush shade, and so it's very nice. This is also a great blush for those with oily skin, because you can't always wear cream blush or liquid blush when you have very oily skin, and so this is a great one that I recommend for you. A highlighter. Now we're gonna move on to highlighter, and I'm personally not the biggest fan of highlighter. I find that it just kind of makes my makeup look too bright, and sometimes I just want it to look a little bit more natural. And so what I've found to work really well is this is a very unique product too. It's the CoverGirl Cooling Glow Stick, and basically what it is it's a cream highlighter, but it looks so natural when you apply it. And I'll swatch it. My friend, she got like these like body pens and she drew on me, and so I have drawings like all over the sleeve right here. But okay, I'm gonna swatch this for you. So we'll go like, ooh, okay, wait, look at that. It's so pretty. So this is a very bronzy highlighter, and a little goes a long way, and it looks so good. Like, it literally lasts so long. Formula is literally cold too when you apply it. That's why it's called a cooling glow stick. And so it kind of feels like, not like an ice pack, but like a little bit cooler, a little bit warmer than an ice pack, but it still feels cold when you apply it. So that's also very nice for when it's hot. We're nearing towards the end, but the next thing that I'm gonna move on to is powder. So during the summer, it's important to not use a lot of powder because your makeup's gonna end up looking cakey, or it's gonna get patchy. You don't want that. So I recommend using loose powders during the summer. I personally have found that they just work better with my skin. It may not be the case for you, but for me, with my dry skin, loose powder is the way to go. That I recommend because it's just so lightweight in formula and it does a great job at preventing oil and brightening my skin at the same time is the e.l.f. HD powder, because I'm gonna open it up and I'm wearing it right now. Of course I am. And what I'm gonna love about this is it has little shimmers in it, and I don't know if the camera, there we go, like right there, you see? I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it has little shimmers in it and it does a great job at preventing, you know, oil and shine coming through as the day goes on. So you can tell that my under eyes are really bright, and I use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer with this, and I find that it's just such a great duo. So now we're gonna move on to setting sprays. Now setting sprays are like so important, especially because it's hot. You do not want your makeup to melt off your face. It's not fun. Setting spray that I recommend is the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. You can see that I've almost used up like literally all of it. And so it's an amazing setting mist, and it ties in with the highlighter because when you apply it, it's literally cold. It's like you just put it in the fridge, and I don't really know how it works, but it stays cold like 24/7. And I don't put it in the fridge or anything. It just, I don't know, it stays cold. It's really cool. I recommend this for when you kind of want to give your skin a little boost of hydration. And it's also going to lock in your makeup. It won't affect your makeup right before I apply makeup because I find that my skin is so dry and sometimes it needs that boost of hydration. I also have a blog post that I wrote about this, so I'm going to link that down below if you want to learn more. But now we're going to move on to glosses. This is Ariana from the future, but I forgot to mention this. Another favorite setting spray of mine is the Benefit Professional. Last year they like gifted me a whole ton of their makeup, and that is such a good setting mist. Okay, so imagine it's like finals week. I was in this hot garage. It was May, end of May, and I was in this hot garage. It was definitely over 100 degrees in there because it was 110 or something crazy like that outside. I remember looking at my tutor and I was like, thinking to myself, is my makeup dripping off? Because I felt my skin getting oily. And I remember getting up in like at the end of the session and I like look in the car mirror, like on the thingy, my makeup looked fine. I was so shocked. Like, can you imagine being in a hot garage after studying for an hour and it's still there? Like, that was so impressive. And so I knew that I could not mention that one. So good, highly recommend, and definitely worth the money. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to glosses. Glosses are my favorite form of like lip makeup during the summer because it literally ties in so well. It looks amazing. Disclaimer here for this section. I literally lost all of these glosses, and so I have to buy them again because I would like put them in my school bag or I would put them in a purse and boom, it's gone. I don't know, but I have to get more of these. So I'm just gonna talk about them, but there will be a photo of the gloss like right here on the screen. So the first one is by NK Girl. So this is the NK Girl Lip Gel. Opinion is like the It Girl gloss of the summer. It's so glossy. A little goes a long way. You do not need a lot. Like seriously, a little goes a long way. So if you apply like too much, it's actually gonna get very sticky and it's just gonna like get everywhere, the gloss. And so you need to make sure that you limit the amount of gloss that you apply. But it's a great glossy gloss. From what I remember, the glossiness, because it's such a glossy gloss, that it lasted for like 30 minutes. And so, but it lasts long. It's a good gloss. Because I would buy glosses like in the past, it would be glossy, but then it would like dry down into, you know, who knows what after like 5 minutes. And so 30 to 45 minutes is very impressive for a gloss like that. It's also cheap and it comes like in a pack and they all smell really good. And so it's a win-win for everyone. The next one is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss, another ride or die of mine. Oh my goodness. This gloss is like a lipstick in a lip gloss, and it's very pigmented, and I would recommend it like if you're going out for dinner, or like if you just want something that's gonna give you like a subtle gloss. It's not a very glossy gloss. It's very subtle, and so I would recommend this for days where you're trying to go, not natural, but you just want a little subtle pop to your makeup. The key ingredient is hyaluronic acid, and so it's going to be very hydrating and moisturizing for your lips when you apply it. Next, Milani glosses. So these are so underrated, and I posted a Pinterest, like a pin about it, and it got like over 1 million views, and so people are buying it now. But the Milani glosses are really good. I recommend them, and the reason why I like them so much is because it's like a dupe for Fenty. It is. Like, Fenty glosses can range from like $18 to $30, I believe. And so this is like under 10, I'm pretty sure. And so they're so pretty and so shimmery, and they're not that glossy, but they work so well over lipsticks. If you apply a lipstick and then you apply that on top of it, it looks so good. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found that helpful and found a few new products that you want to try out. These are all amazing, and I totally 100% recommend all of them. If you have some makeup products that you recommend, comment down below and share them. I'm gonna respond. I love getting new like recommendations for makeup, so comment down below and I want to see what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to The Beginner's Guide to Makeup to learn all about makeup for beginners. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.